The Department of Environment has issued a stop order to the Belize City Council and businessman Haisam Diab. Construction of a commercial building measuring 104 feet by 45 feet along Marine Parade, feet away from the sea, has been put on pause following that stop order. The order was issued on October 17, and Chief Environmental Officer Martin Aragria tells Diab and the City Council that they have embarked in a construction of a commercial development without applying and receiving environmental clearance from the D.O.E.
Basically, they came out there and they asked us three questions. On this plan, we don't see anything for the disposal of garbage. One, we don't see how where your grease trap is going. Two, and three, how are you going to dispose of your sewer? I said, well, it's very simple. The reason why you don't have those in this particular in this plan is because we're waiting for one other signature for somebody who's away. We're not building on top of the sea. We're building on land. So we expressed to them, well, first of all, for a project so small, I didn't realize that the Department of Environment would get involved. It's just a restaurant. There are many restaurants around Belize, and I'm sure they don't go through that type of scrutiny.
Workers were sent home and the building stands unfinished. The idea to build a family-oriented restaurant on that specific location along the seaside was birthed more than a year ago. Moves were made to have the plans approved under the previous City Council, but that application was never processed. The proposal was taken to the current City Council, which approved the plans, only to have it halted by D.O.E. Attorney Ashanti Arthurs Martin says D.O.E.'s stop order was not clear.
There has been some discussions with the Chief Environmental Officer. That was just done on Thursday, if I recall. I don't know at this point the extent of the reasons for objecting. The stop order that was issued was not clear as to the specific reasons for objecting. And so we are waiting to see what the Chief Environmental Officer is going to say. And based on the response that comes, we will look at what our legal recourse would be. I looked at the applicable laws, and in particular, they cited an area of the law that I looked at. And from my review of the law, I don't see that it is automatic. The overriding consideration under the Act is whether or not there is going to be a significant impact on the environment. And so the question is a restaurant of this scale, which is not a large restaurant, is this going to have a significant impact on the environment? As far as I am aware, this development isn't over the sea, so it's not interfering with marine life as such. This is a simple construction of a restaurant on a plot of land. Yes, it may be near the sea, but it is on the land. So I don't know what environmental impact the Department of Environment considers that the development will have.
Martin says that the development should not have triggered D.O.E., but since it has, the developer met with officials to ascertain the specific concerns. Meanwhile, on September 7th, Ekaterina Diab and the Belize City Council entered into a 13-year lease agreement at $2,000 per month. That's a total of $312,000 at the end of the 13 years.
The agreement is that Mrs. Diab will develop this property into a restaurant, as described, and the intended investment is to be about $300,000. You can't improve a property for $300,000 and at the same time pay rent as you go along. So the agreement is as with any other lease of this nature where there's improvement to property. This improvement is an upfront payment of your rent for approximately 13 years. So once the investment is made, the building is built. It's built on the council's land. This is the council's land at the end of the day, not Mrs. Diab. So what she has done in essence is to prepay her rent for 13 years. And what you have is basically a credit, an account, against which the $2,000 per month is going to be deducted. And this is how the 13 years was arrived at.
So at the end of the 13 years, the rent will be due if the lease is renewed. The City Council will take ownership of the building. The lease can be terminated by either party on a 60 days notice. The Belize City Council says that the investor will restore and improve the aesthetic of the immediate area with a child-friendly recreational playground and improved lighting.
We'll be selling pizzas and salads and all kind of treats for the kids. Nothing to do with the steakhouse. I don't know where they got that one from. Secondly, we will not be applying for any kind of hard liquor license or anything like that because that's far from what we want to do out there. What we want to do is to have a very affordable, family-friendly place where kids can go along with their parents and have a good time, a safe environment with fresh air. I wouldn't have thought it would have been political, but after hearing people calling me and telling me, why they're attacking you on the radio, then I would almost want to think so.
Okay.
But on the other hand, too, I'm surprised because I know Mr. Finnegan extremely well, and he knows my number. We're good friends. He could have come and asked me for the plans, and I would have been more than happy to show and disclose them to him.
Reporting for News 5, Hipolito, Novelo.